After watching Countryfile, I thought to myself, it was a good report in many ways, and yet it was manipulated for their own benefit, talking about bird flu, talking about numbers, talking about how much it cost. Commercial shoots are not cheap. The average person can't afford to go on a commercial shoot on these big estates and shoot. You've got to be reasonably wealthy to be able to do this. There's no way I could justify £50 plus VAT per pheasant. I've never done it. I have no interest in that. But going on shoots, working dogs, is what it's all about for me. Without working dogs on shoots, I would have never gone on a commercial shoot. That's the way I think. You could say, well, you'll never know how good it is until you do it. I've not really got the interest. I've never really had the interest to shoot birds that are screaming across in front of me or over me. Some people absolutely love it. I say it's down to each individual. I'm not against it, but a commercial shoot is not like a rough shoot or a man walking up an edge with his dog. There's nothing finer than rough shooting for me. I've been on shoots and seen it, so I have got an understanding, and some people get a real buzz. And I've even had a real buzz watching a good gun, especially with a good dog, on a shoot, standing back behind him with my dog, ready to pick up, but not having to pick up because his dog has sat there all the way through the drive and then afterwards picked the birds he's shot. My job is there to pick up the birds that haven't been picked. And if a gun has a good dog, I like to see that gun do the job, have the fun of the day, and enjoy it with his dog. That means more to me than racing around and picking every bird just because I've got a dog. And over the years, I've seen so many people desperate to pick every bird that hits the deck. They're sending their dog. The real skill set is having your dog at your side and send him for the birds that you want to send him for. So this is why I've done this video. In this first bit of the video was an excellent gun with an excellent dog. He was a good shot. It was a pleasure to stand there and watch him do it. Like I say, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if he's got the enjoyment that he's got out of that day and he can afford it, I say well done. I'm glad you had a great day, and thanks for paying for shooting, because it gives me the opportunity to stand at the back and pick up with my dogs. And that's why I'm on the shoots, and that's the reason I've gone on the shoots. I loved working in the beating line with my dogs, but I thoroughly enjoyed standing at the back picking up with well-controlled working gun dogs. My love of training is for the dog. Shooting is part and parcel of the sport. I bring them together at the right time. But my love is training dogs for a living. I've had the privilege of working some wonderful shoots up and down the country. You meet some wonderful people. You meet some wonderful people from all walks of life. Some are arrogant, but some are absolutely lovely, friendly. They appreciate what you do, and we appreciate what they do. It's all about coming together, and I'm afraid I think the sport is being driven in the direction of only the wealthy can afford to shoot. It's not there for the average person. It's going to become so expensive. On a beater's day, you get to shoot. To do it on the odd occasion, I find it exhilarating. I find it fun, but I wouldn't want to do it all the time. The difference for me, it's not all about the shooting, it's about the dog work. It's about working with like-minded people, the keepers, the people who put all the hard work in to produce a day that works and runs smoothly. It's not easy. There's a lot of pressure on these keepers. But without the beaters, without the pickers up, without the dogs, it would be a waste of time in my view. It's the beaters, the dogs, and the picking up team that make the day with the shooters. So you can stand in a field and shoot birds because you can afford it, but running a shoot, even a commercial shoot, it's a team setup. If the team ain't right, the day won't be right. And for me, it's not about carrying a gun. It's about watching, loving what I do, working these wonderful dogs on shoots. And like I say, without me being able to work my dogs on these shoots, I would get no pleasure if it wasn't for the dogs. The dogs are what brought me into this. And to be honest with you, the older you get, the less interest you are in shooting. And yet the wonderful, fantastic memories, the views, the environment, keeping yourself reasonably fit, doing something you absolutely love day in, day out, has been a complete pleasure. But it's now nice to know that I've done that, and I want to pass on my knowledge and understanding to other people of how to gain that knowledge and that understanding, and how to get out there and work your dogs in the environment that's going to be so testing for them, and yet such a pleasure for you and your dog and the people you work with. Not many guns get the compliment from the people picking up, beating, that you're a brilliant shot, well done, that was really nice to see. But it's amazing how many guns do shoot well, but it's the same as dog work. Many guns don't shoot well. But it's great when a gun turns around and goes, that was a pleasure watching your dog pick up while I was shooting. That gives you the buzz to want to train the dogs to a good standard, because a good gun can appreciate the people round working, the keepers, the beaters, the pickers up, the people who produce the birds over the guns, and then do a humane job of cleaning up afterwards.